it is, a 2023 Ford Super Duty. This is a new color. I'll have to look it up. Can't remember. Cool new color. You got lay-down flat seats. You got the sensors in the edge of the tailgate. So many cool things. You got the steps on the side, on the bed, the bumper. So many new things. That's just the small stuff. Lay-down seat just goes on and on and on for what this 2023 can do. We're looking forward to seeing the power numbers, towing numbers, all that. This is what the grills, and there's several grill choices. And this puppy here is Platinum. It's got the really cool tuck and roll, the old quilted seats. But loaded, wonderful trucks. So we'll have more information coming your way. So cool. When you get up on the step, you get it in here, you got a handhold. They didn't use a stick pocket, they used a special handhold. So cool. Look at all that. And there's that 2,000 watt charging station. You can plug in all kinds of things. It's 2,000 watts. Of course, they got the ruler in here and the step. Look at this. This is what's cool. You got the camera and sensors in the tailgate. So when you're backing up with the tailgate down, you can actually know what's going on. Instead of seeing the ground with the camera, you can actually do that. Little sensors deep at you, which is still pretty cool. Really a useful truck. This is where they should be. Something I can make money with. Of course, all the plug-ins. Looks like you even have the camera plug-ins in the cab now, or in the bed. Yeah. You can plug in your cameras inside the bed instead of plugging in the bumper. That's too cool. Just breaking over the tailgate. And you're good. Look at that camera. I love it, I love it, I love it. You got a big chain hooks. Finally got these so you can use them. Big chain hooks. Love this console. Slides around, slides forward and back, and then look at this. Slides right into your lap so you can eat your McDonald's or play with your laptop. That is cool. Glad to see it's on the 6-seater. It's the only place it is. But that's cool. And you can push this button and slide it back. Awesome. Awesome. That reclining seat all the way down so tall people can even sleep in my truck. That's just so cool. See, it's cool. And then you can flip this up and down and make a long bed out of this. But this is too cool. I'm laying down in my Limited. I can lay down and take a nap. I wish the 150 kept this seat, but now you got it in the Super Duty, so I guess it's my next trick. I gotta buy a 250 so I can get this lay down seat. So cool. Reporting from Detroit. Beautiful interior. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's like a Lincoln seat. Tuck and roll. The quilted seats. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Very big moonroof. And giant dashes. Of course, giant screens. Touch screens. A little different hood. It's got a little dip, more like the 150. Big nose piece, but you still got good visibility. View over the hood, about the same. And then the plastic crap piled on top like somebody does. Just have nice level sheet metal with a dip down over the fender. I love it. I need visibility on my trucks. The vents blows the air out the side. Got hot air out of the engine compartment. Man, nothing's better than the steps you can get your crossover toolbox. And then, of course, the tailgate step. You don't need no fancy tailgate, just give me a tailgate step. That can do anything. So awesome.
Don't go away, Mr. Truck.tv. We'll be right back.
They show the old model on the right, the new model on the left. You can see the difference in the lights and you can see the difference in the grill. And, you know, the hood looks very similar. Now, from the side, you can't see a whole lot. I don't see a whole lot of difference there. But you see a little bit of a thing below the mirror. That's what air is supposed to exhaust the engine compartment. So I guess that's new. And then on the tailgate, the top of the tailgate looks different. That new step on the left side, I guess that's an old push-down step on the right side. The taillights are different. The bumper's slightly different. Now, isn't that a pretty truck? That's the color blue I was looking at when I was up there in Detroit. Pretty awesome, pulling a fifth-wheel trailer. The mirrors look the same. These were pulled out. You know, if you get an expensive one, they got the extendable mirrors. Well, I guess it's Lariat and above. But anyway, these are just some cool videos of what they look like. So we're getting used to the grill, getting used to the different headlights and the new C clamp on the outside of it. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on here. You know, we talked about the sensors now on the tailgate, so you can leave your tailgate down. And here's some cool wheels. This is what they look like. Some of the newer options for the wheels on these heavy duties. This is I think a 250, F250. But yeah, the logos are a little similar. There's that air pocket again. It's supposed to suck engine out of the engine compartment. We'll see how that works. But yeah, I guess this is a 350. But of course, more colors. Here's the steps. I don't tell anybody, but this is what Chevy's been using for 2 or 3 years. I think back since 2000. What was that? 2020. And there's the bumper step that they had on the Avalanche and on the new Silverados. So, you know, of course, everybody copies stuff in the truck industry, and this is a gorgeous cockpit. See the big screen there, the console, and it's real similar to what you're used to. No major changes other than that giant screen. So got the big knobs for the heat and the air conditioning, big knobs for radio. I like big knobs. And now they've got that dual pane overhead moonroof, which is awesome. Here's a dually. The fender's still the same. I guess we're kind of getting used to these now. But yeah. And this is what's really interesting is the half tons come out with this first. It actually can weigh your payload and weigh your tongue weight. And I think that's so awesome. Nobody else has that. Now here's my favorite thing, which I just got through talking about earlier. You can lay that seat down and take a nap. I mean, this is so great. I can't believe the F-150s quit it. I think it's a great thing. But you know, this really shows you it's a work truck, because that's what I would do, and I do it. I sleep in my truck occasionally. I just didn't have the nice seat to lay down. Usually I jump in the back. But oh well. Still similar model, still the Tremor and all those others, the XLT, the Lariat, the King Ranch, the Platinum. And this is that step by the cab so you can get in your crossover toolbox. Now this is different than Chevy. They actually have a hand pocket where Chevy just makes the big stake hole bigger. I guess a few people are still using those stake holes. But that makes it nice. That corner step, I think, forget all this tailgate stuff and just use that. That way I can use it with the trailer without a trailer. And I think this looks like a King Ranch. Gorgeous interiors. Yes, indeed. The seats are so awesome in these. They just get more comfy all the time. But of course, there's testing. Here we go. This is what they do when they hide in their top secret places back in Dearborn. They do a lot of testing. This is on a dually. You know, it's a cab and chassis, so I'm sure they're testing a lot of stuff. You can see cords coming out everywhere. And more than likely a diesel. And, you know, there's airflow, and I mean, they've got their own wind machine, I guess. And then, you know, take it out on their ramp and their testing facility. I've been there many times up in north of Detroit, almost to Canada. And they just torture the heck out of these things. I've been on one test, I think it was called the Silverado Trail or whatever, and they only use robots now. And I was on there with about 5 different trucks in one day testing it, so I guess I could take a beating like a robot. But anyway, and then of course, you know, they want to prove these things will do rock crawling and all the other things, especially in a Tremor model. It's got to be off-road worthy, you know. And it's nice in the Tremor, you get the gas or the diesel, and you got to go downhill and slow down. And the tow haul mode does a pretty good job of that on these bigger trucks. And it's what they do. And of course, they got to do the water testing, see if they can't drown it and get stuck in the mud. And I bet that's up at the proving ground too, because that looks kind of like their background. A lot of turkeys up there. They go hunting in there. It's a big place. And of course, there's the bumpity bumps. See how much flex you can get. And of course, you know, now they've got the tubing type axles instead of C channel, so they do flex differently. Of course, it's easier to tune the shocks and the springs when you go with a tube type frame. But yeah, they've got all the places in the world to test these things, and they got some pretty steep ones. I've been on some of their little trails, and some of it's paved. It's like 25%. I've towed some big trailers up that, but yeah, pretty cool. And this is it's interesting taking a big truck off-roading, and it's part of what they do. Now, what we're going to do, this is part one. There's so much stuff to talk about this truck. Next, in part two, we're going to talk about the two new engines, the new 6.8 gas push rod, and we're also going to talk about the cab and chassis, all the commercial things they're doing. I'm doing a lot of commercial projects on these trucks, and we'll do more with some off-road and some different models. Here's the 6.8, and I guess pushrod helps them a lot. Of course, that's what the diesel is. So now they got all 4 pushrod engines on Super Duties that are like what we're used to. I guess they're not going to worry about cam phasers and an overhead cam that they have done. Gets involved with. Well, here's the OK Corral. Shows a bunch of the models, Tremors and friends.